guys, I got a new project here. Want to show you. Gonna do the unboxing right here live, because unboxing sucks and annoys people. Is why I do it. Now I'm doing it because I haven't had a chance really to get into this box. The gentleman sent this to me, I think it was 3 weeks ago. Sorry for making you wait so long, sir. But I had to get my other job done. I am wore out. I am feeling it, man. All that sanding and carving and everything has got every part of my body complaining. But I still want to see what's in the box. What is in the box? Oh my. It says Crosman Custom Shop on the outside of the box. So you know it's going to be beautiful. I bet this is a beauty right here. One of them high dollar air guns. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, man. Let's take a look. Oh, I like that. Ooh, what do we have here? These boxes over here. We'll definitely be reusing all of that later. Okay. We have some bubble wrap. I'll be saving that too. Save everything. Somehow, somewhere. Oh yeah. Whatever it is, it's got a mighty long snoot. Take a look at this thing. What kind of snout he's got on it. Inches. You got the 14. What you got? It's got a tasty looking something in here. I'm starting to see some shiny stuff. Shiny, shiny. Oh my. Oh my. Looky here. Okay. Oh wow. Look at that. Let's have a look. Look at these grips, huh? Coca-Bolo. We got the Coca-Bolo target grip. Is this what Crosman makes, or is this something the man got somewhere and put on there? I don't know. I don't know. If that's what Crosman makes, man, they got to step up their game a little bit, man. That's crazy. These grips do not fit the gun. But the gun itself is glorious. Wow. Look at that piece of work, huh? Satin. Satin. I got a steel breech. I do not have steel breech envy. I could satin blast my steel breech, I guess, but I don't think my steel breech is stainless steel. It'd probably rust. This is a stainless steel breech, man. I should probably check and make sure this thing isn't aired up. No, it's not. Good. I was like, okay. Wow, alright. Let's see what kind of trigger this thing's got. That's the first thing I want to check out. Look at that trigger, huh? That's a nice looking trigger, man. That's from the Crosman Custom Shop. I'm going to have to get me one of them. That's nice. Nice big stainless steel safety. Ooh, I like it. It feels, I'm sorry, I wasn't showing it to you. I'm used to this camera lens is like way to the left side of the camera, guys. I'm sorry. I do this all the time. I'm like looking over here, thinking that's where the camera's at, because you know, ergonomically that's where it should be, but it isn't. I like that metal safety button there. Let's see what that feels like. Let's see how that trigger breaks. Ooh, a lot of creep. Nasty, crunchy feel to it. Brake's nice though. It's got a real nice brake to it, but I feel a little crust in there, man. I think it needs a polish job. Let's see what we got here. You hear that? Do you hear that noise? It lets off nice, I'll give it that, okay? But coming up to the let off, some improvement could be made there. Just totally out of the realm of what I'm doing. I'm just doing some woodwork on it, but I just wanted to see if a Crosman custom trigger would be like that much better than the trigger that I came up with on my own gun, and it isn't. So I feel happy about that, because that means that I know what I'm doing. Let's see if you can hear the noises coming out of it. Clunk. Yeah, that's... I'm telling you something, sir. You need to get in there and polish that thing out, man. Put a little lube on, put a little red and tacky right on top of it, and you would be amazed how much better this would be just with that alone. I'm really curious to see what's inside there. We'll get those off in a minute. Got some compensator on there. I've never shot an air gun with a compensator, so I really don't know if that's a big deal or not. Don't know. Strictly CO2. Nice big chunk, man. That's a lot easier to get off than the little one I got. It's a nice piece, but it adds a lot of weight. A lot of weight on there. I guess maybe you want some weight up there. I don't know. It's a chunk. This gun is extremely heavy. The only thing that kind of lets me down, honestly, on the 2240 is when they shifted to the new grip frame and they used the plastic. And it just bugs me. And you would think that on the Crosman Custom Shop they would have a metal plate to replace the plastic one to make their customers feel that much more special about having spent a buttload of money on their custom 2240. But you get stuck with the plastic side plate, so you're pretty much stuck with it. So for instance, if you wanted to do a color or you wanted to whatever, then you got this plastic, black plastic part. You either got to paint it or it's going to be contrasting. I don't know why they did that. I like the barrel band. That is a honking big red dot, in my opinion. I mean, but the whole gun is so heavy. Hey, it's probably the lightest part of the whole gun. But yeah, that is a honking big red dot right there. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? The customer asked me if I could make a wood stock that would fit over this whole deal and that the gun would just slip into and not show any nuts or bolts. And by that I mean, I guess he's talking about this one. You still got to have grip screws. There's no way to secure a slip-in grip. Even I've looked at Paul Cochran's grips and stuff. Even his have screws. So, yeah, I definitely want to get these grip panels off and look inside of there. I'm really curious about that. But just looking at it, it's basically, you know, it's very nice, but it's basically the same as my 2240. I could have probably created it without him sending me the gun if I had known that this was not longer or anything. So if we're talking about just leaving enough of this showing that you can get your finger on there and get a CO2 in and out, and then we're talking about a relatively short, because a lot of the stuff I saw, I was looking at Paul Cochran's work just to get an idea of what this gentleman had in mind, because it was kind of what he referenced. He sent me a bunch of pictures of really nice looking stuff, but they were all for PCP guns with big long tubes. You know, tube would be this long. So now you have all this, you know, you got the super long tube, you can put this nice piece of wood over it. This is a relatively short tube. I already make like a two-part type of four-stock thing, but I know he doesn't want that. He wants something that will wrap around the whole gun in some way. Imagine leaving this exposed. Once again, the camera drifts to the right. One of these days I'm going to get a camera and show you this camera so you understand why I'm always taking videos like this. Anyway. Yeah, probably going to want this exposed. and then everything else drop in. So my idea from the get-go was to make two halves and route them out so that the two halves could then be glued together, and then this whole thing could slide into it, and then it could be secured here with a couple screws. And there are, I think it's Crosman makes like a big chunk that you can put here, like a big chunk, so that when you put a 4-stock on it, you have something to attach it to. I looked at them; they're like $35 for a big chunk of metal. And yeah, that's definitely one way to go about it. Otherwise, you know, you have to take this nice custom shop tube, right? You'd have to drill it and tap it. And then you'd have to make sure your screws did not protrude past it. And then you don't have a whole lot of threading to catch, because you'll see this tube is really, really thin. And the CO2 the cartridge fits right up against it, basically, with about a 1/16 of an inch play back and forth. So you can't really have a screw that protrudes into this chamber at all. It's just not going to work out. It's too thin. You definitely don't want to be drilling into this nice stainless steel barrel band and tapping that, although that would definitely give you some more meat. Right. So the conundrum is, how do you attach something to this tube without it looking ugly and without making it into a big chunky thing? So I was looking at the Crosman thing, and their plastic 4-stocks are big chunks. They're just huge chunks. Come down about this far. They're about this long. That could work out, because if you want the grip just to go across like this with a hole there, that could work out. And it could just sock up in there, and then you could have a screw underneath to go into that. But and I'm not a machinist, so I can't make metal parts. So I don't have the option of, oh well, I'll just whip something up out of brass and slip it over there and it'll be fine. I'll never be able to do that. So I probably will end up maybe buying the Crosman. It looks like it's a piece of aluminum, which means I can probably sand it down, whittle it down, make it smaller, make it the size I need. But it's not something I figured into my price, so I got to talk to my client about that. All he's paying me for on this job, the only thing I quoted him for was labor to make it. So if he wants special wood, he wants special parts. We was talking about a Picatinny rail, which would also be a great reason to have a big chunk there that's perfectly in line. That's what's nice about the Crosman's piece, is it's perfectly in line with the barrel. He was talking about maybe a little Picatinny rail. I really don't know how much rail you can put on there, to be honest with you, and how that's supposed to work out where you're not touching it with your hands. You can't really inset a Picatinny rail because parts clamp around the outside of it like that. So it's got to stick out. So then you put rail covers on it, and then that kind of screws up the whole idea of having a beautiful wood grip with a plastic rail cover on it or something. But, you know, I'll make whatever the man wants. I'm open. I'm excited to work on it. It's a beautiful gun. I'll be cogitating on it now that I can take some measurements, and I will talk with him now that I've seen it, now that I know what he's actually doing, and we'll figure out exactly what to do. Alright guys, thanks for watching, listening to me ramble on, look at this beautiful Crosman 2300S. It's a gorgeous gun. I can't wait to get some of my wood on it.